Welcome to Project Cars Drivers Club Season 4. PCDC returns to the hectic multi-class format this spring with a 7-race series of GT3 and LMP1 action. Each Saturday we'll have practice and qualifying, followed by 90 minutes of racing with accelerated tire wear to put your racecraft to the test. Additionally, we'll be running races with real weather enabled, so keep an eye on the sky and maybe bring an umbrella. Let's take a look at the circuits. The first race of Season 4 starts in what could be called the home of the sports car, Monza, Italy. Get ready to blast some chicanes. Next, we're off to Spain's Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya for a scenic early morning jaunt. Week 3, we stop by Algarve International in Portugal to speed through the hills of Portimao at sunset. Next, we head east to Japan for a go at the eponymous speedway in the foothills of Mount Fuji. After Japan, we hop the Pacific and head to my home track, Road America. This midnight race through the woods of Wisconsin is sure to put everyone's attentiveness to the test. Austin, Texas, home to Circuit of the Americas, our drivers' last chance to get their points in for the championship. This circuit will challenge them with its technical sections, but it won't be the last trial for these brave souls. Season 4 ends with a grueling 3-hour solo endurance race at Daytona Speedway in Florida. The main series championship may be decided, but this won't stop our drivers from fighting for the win in our seasonal endurance series. The season starts on April 28th, so visit pcdc.link to join us, or tune into the stream each Saturday as I take us through the action. For Project Cars Drivers Club, this is Dustin the Destroyer, signing off. Hello, 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 hello. Top of the morning to you laddies. This is Dustin the Destroyer for Project Cars Drivers Club Round 4. We are here at Fuji Speedway, and let's get right into the news. LMP1 qualification has finished already. We are currently underway with GT3 quali hour, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever it is. Mason in the LMP quali took the pole position with a 1:29.8, I want to say. It was a really stinking fast lap. I don't know if he's disconnected, I don't know what happened there. I don't know what happened there, but he got the pole position. Hillbilly Chris got just behind him with a 1:33, and as you can see, we got 2 other 1:33s, so just a couple of tenths between Hillbilly Chris, How Good Am I, and Yawns. Got Kimmy Rafer with a 1:34.9. So LMPs might actually get some racing done today. But yeah, we got 14 minutes left of the GT3 qualifying window here. If he says lol rain. Yeah, we're not sure what the actual forecast for the race is. The qualifying session has been wet but I think somebody said the forecast for the race was clear, but it had the icon for rain. so it's a little bit like shaking your head no and saying yes. I'm not. We'll find out. I'm gonna err on the side of caution and say rain. Guess this is what happens when you use real weather in the spring, in the northern hemisphere. Yeah, probably not the best time of year to be doing real weather because rains all the time in a lot of places. Yeah, here we are, Fuji, Japan, round 4 of the season. We got two main series races left after this. We got Road America next, and then Circuit of the Americas for the finale of this regular season. And then we'll have an endurance race at Daytona Road Course sometime after. So we got lots of excitement still this season. It's been pretty interesting so far. And here at Fuji we'll have 90 minutes of race time after this qualifying session concludes. So far it looks like Apex is out there. Oh no, that's a dangerous corner. This is the second person we've seen spin out there. Yeah, Miffy says Fuji real life is clear right now. Yeah, well, it when you start an online session, it pulls the forecast sort of statically. You know how it is. So Apex leading the GT3 category so far with a 49.9. Echo not too far behind him with a 50 flat. And then we got Jim Boom with a 50.2 rather. Herman with a 50.7. Auger with a 50.9. So we got a lot of action in the top 6 of the GT3 field. And then down here, all these guys are pretty much within a couple seconds of each other as well. So yeah, it's looking like a pretty tight race. I saw a sick drift back there. Who is in the Falcon car? That was outrageous. Domi in the Falcon car. Deja vu, man. He says surprisingly healthy grid size with the footy on. I don't know what. Oh, football. That's what footy is. Okay. I'm a little out of touch with with that realm, but yeah. No, we got 5 LMPs. I don't know where Mason's gone to. I think he's just given up after he qualified and was taking a break or something. But he qualified pole. 5 LMPs, and then we got 16 GT3 cars. Just about 10 minutes to go in the GT3 qualifying. Let's take a look at you can probably see the standings on your screen there, but let's take a closer look at the driver standings for now. Rubik's in the lead for the GT3 drivers category with 83 points. Bill Kerman is taking the number 2 slot for now in the championship, which is definitely a new spot for him to be in, but I know he's enjoying getting out there and having some good fights. So he was only bored for a season or two, and now he's got the real fights here with newcomer Rubik's just having some really dominant races out there this season. Logger with 63, so not too far behind Bill. We've got a very small gap for second, third here for the points. And have a nice day. Could have a good race and hop up there as well. Sjord is in 5th with 52 points, so really not a whole lot separating everybody. I mean, a second place could get snatched out of here really easily. I'm not sure what the point scale is for 16 restarters, but yeah, the LMP1s, we got Turenbar leading with 29 points in the standings. Flickenflocken has 13. Is that true? Flickin' Flockin's in second place, and he's been in the commentary booth with me for the last 2 races? That's weird. Mason is in third with 12 points, so if Mason finishes here, I'm pretty sure he'll be overtaking Flickin' Flockin's place. I think Flickin' Flockin is still out with technical issues, so hopefully he'll be back soon. But Mason is also in the chat saying I left the session by accident. Well, now everybody knows. Hillbilly Chris in fourth with 12, so he's tied for third with Mason, and Sam has 11 points just behind them. So the LMP standings can have some big shakeups soon here. So Rubik's leading now in the GT3 category with a 149.5. Echo in second now with a 49.6. Jim Boom with a 49.6. Oh my, that's 11 hundredths there between Echo and Jim Boom. And then look at that, Logger in fourth with a 49.7. Apex with a 49.9. And Kerman, surprisingly, has not been able to breach that 150 mark, unless my timings are bugged, which they sometimes are, but that's seventh in the standings is not where Bill Kerman likes to be. Out at the forefront. But, his teammate, at least, is up in fifth here, so we got 7 minutes left of the qualifying. I'll go to the team standings here. I don't think I've got an overlay for you, but I can tell you what's what. Looks like Team Paprikas Krumplik with 42 points is in the lead of the LMP1 team category. Penalized Performance with Albiner and Sam in Audi is in second with 21 points. And EC, Mason and Extrovert as third place in the team standings with 12 points. For the GT3 category, these are not really sorted. It looks like Granola Joe and the Crispy Oatmeal Trio is in the lead with 106 points. So Apex, Envy, and Bill Kerman are able to, as a team, get the points they need to be in the lead, but as far as individual standing, Rubik still has that. But Rubik's team's German Racing with Rubik's and Snacks in the AMG, they have 90 points, so they are close behind Granola Joe's team. And it looks like, I think, Concrete Racing, Echo and Zedian's team is in third for GT3 team standings with 81 points. They are in the white and blue Lamborghini. Oh, Mason was actually helping chat that I didn't see. Thanks, Mason. Appreciate you. We got 5 minutes left to the GT3 quali, and doesn't look like much has changed. We still got Rubik's, Echo, and Jim in the top 3, and then a good handful of contenders out there that are quite close to them. If this is going to be a clear race, well, I guess clear or wet, it's going to be a really close race. These guys clearly are on a similar pace around Fuji here. Gonna get interesting. Welcome to anybody new to Project Cars Drivers Club races. Just wrapping up quali here, and then we will have a little pre-race show for you, and we'll get into the racing. It'll be 90 minutes of racing here with this multi-class format. If you want to join us, feel free. Go on to PCDC.link and get the info there. You can just, it's super easy. Get onto the Discord, sign up for the main series, and you're in. We got a few other fun races throughout the week as well. And you know what? Have fun. Have a good time. While we're wrapping up qualifying, if anybody in chat wants to shout out who they're rooting for, we got any fan favorites, I can usually try to give them some more camera time so we can keep up with them. My money is on Felix. Felix, I think, is brand new to the Drivers Club, actually. Felix-479298. So we'll see how he does out there today. Not looking super pacey, but he's within a couple seconds of the race pace here, so we'll see. Anchor's back there with them. Jexa, Paulie, we'll have a good... Everybody's pretty tight, actually. We got 16 guys there within 3 seconds of each other or so. So, that'll be pretty good. 2 minutes left to quali now. We got 2 to 4 on behalf of Shard and 1 for Flow Scub. All right, welcome, welcome. Keep up with your boys here. Shard's looking good in second here. And where's Flow Scub at? Flow's in 10th, but Flow Scub's right in that sort of second and a half range where he's in the competition for anything really here. That time, maybe not with those spins, but you know, if you can keep it on the track, that's a 150 is a pretty good pace to be on. Got a lot of really tight times. Oh, is that Echo with a 148? Is that new? Yeah, Echo with a 148 leaves Sheridan Rubik's in the dust with a 148.9. We got 1 minute left to quali. Hey, we got another for Flow Scub. All right. Be a good one out here, boys. And girls. And whoever else. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Alright, so we'll go on a lap with Sheared here. This is the start-finish straight, heavy braking zone into a sort of wide hairpin right. Try to exit as fast as you can. Just a little kink here. Nice little fast section, a pretty heavy braking zone right here. To the left, it's pretty easy to take fast enough. A lot of runoff here. Possible to hit those slippery curbs though and go a little too wide. We'll see if. Well, we got 11 seconds. Is anybody else just getting off on a lap? I'll have to take you on a full lap during the race, maybe. I don't know if Rubik's is... Oh, Rubik's might have time to actually finish this. 1 second, 0. That's it. Okay. Well, looks like Echo takes pole for GT3. Realized how funny that sounds. Echo took... No! Whoa! Okay, Kerman all of a sudden has hopped up in with a 148.8. So Echo's now in second with a 148.9. Sherd in third with a 149.2. So Kerbin and Echo just went and pulled the pace out for this one. Wow, that's awesome. That is really good to see. Rubik's in fourth with a 149.5. Apex with a 49.5. Jim with a 49.6, Logger with a 49.7, Have a Nice Day with a 49.7. Like, you can see how close this is. And then we got a couple guys, 50, 51 area, 52. Like, it's going to be tight out there. And it's going to be, well, we don't know what the weather's going to be for sure for the next hour and a half. We are going to be starting a new lobby for the race session. We have sort of a staggered qualifying, but I'll have a nice little slideshow for you. That's all. So it looks like Jack is doing pretty good in the LMPs. I think all the other. Yeah, that's Bill Kerman in the pole for GT3. Echo second. Jared in third. I'm never gonna figure out how to pronounce his name. I just got punched in the face by a cough. Oh, came out of nowhere. All right. Well, moving on swiftly. Race 4, Fuji. As you can see, I mentioned I should do some music on. Doesn't get so boring, but. Oh, minuses are weird all of a sudden. Grab.
Hello?
Hello. That.
Flickenflack.
Oh, Flickin' Flockin'. I didn't think you were gonna make it today. Welcome.
I forgot the race, to be
Yeah.
honest. I was at the grocery store and I just got back home, and Rubik's just wrote me on Steam.
Fantastic. Well, yeah, you made it just in time. The qualifying just finished. So getting into the race and qualifying pretty normal. Oh, just got your message to pull you into the chat. Oh, you made it. Yeah, race 4, Fuji. Multiclass is back for being back, and it's back. I think we're gonna make a joke about this every time. It's gonna be tradition now. Fuji. I'm not too much of a pro here, but luckily Bill makes these slides, so he's more of a better source for how a racetrack handles than I am usually. Lots of awkward multi-line corners. Yeah, lots of wide, sort of weird. Just look at the map there and look at how many weird angles there are in those, like different radiuses to the curves. It's outrageous. Really long start finish straight. You get really cruising by the end of it, and it's a heavy braking zone. That sort of wide hairpin. Weather is unsure still to this moment. We don't know exactly what the danger zones is. 100R radii or something, because very wide. Lots of possible lines in there. Lots of, if you look on the picture and not on the map, you can see it's not like a perfect circle or anything. There's lots of different apexes you can hit on there. And then you're setting yourself up for turn 6 there, and that's a really tight left hand. How you exit that is very important, because set yourself up. If you hit 6 right, then you get a really good speed next sections. Important for exits. 13 through T16, a very technical section. Just a mess. this is kind of the part of Fuji I don't like to drive. Well, lots of different radius turns. Lots of potential lines through there. There's a lot of track to use, but not a lot of really fast lines. It's easy to get one or two of these wrong, have it cost you here. Especially if we're doing this in the rain, it's going to be absolutely nuts. I tried to say nuts and bonkers at the same time. That be nonkers, butts. So yeah, this T13 through 16 is a very technical section, and lots of trail braking, lots of chances to screw up that section, and onto a long start finish straight. Yeah, weather we don't know. The forecast I think was clear at the mid quali. I think somebody said the forecast was clear. This is project cars, and this is the weather we're talking about. When you combine those two, it's certainly gonna go wrong. Expect to see one stop for fuel and possibly tires for both classes. Uh, yeah, it's not particularly hot like Algarve here, so they're gonna try a one stop. They're basically, it seems to be you stop as little as possible this season. Find get dedicated server now. Are ready to get underway. If you're new to races, we're going to have a manual formation lap where everybody's going to single file slot into their positions and drive around the track real slow like. As soon as the individual car crosses the line, then they can get off and racing. You do it single file, nice and easy. Try not to get any crashes in the first lap, and it seems to work out pretty well. Sorry, I'm just joining the server right now. There we go. Good. Good, but yeah, lots of flowing corners at Fuji here. Lots of weird technical sections. The traffic's gonna be weird. We're gonna have to keep an eye on the LMPs and see how they manage the traffic here. They got a nice long straight where they can get the job done. Got a nice long straight where they can get the job done, and 100R after turn 2 you can do it. After turn 8 you can, turn 1 not gonna be the place, and then just turn 10 to turn 60 S. The LMPs get stuck behind a GT car. For anybody, we got bear with us for a moment. I think we're almost. I actually did find some copyright that I can put over this, but right now. $23 in the lobby. How many? We must be waiting on a driver still from thing. We got some Flow Scub fans in the joint today. We got some Sherd. Hey. Hello, check. I thought my microphone went a second. Haven't seen Loggers Misses in the chat yet today, but she's been keeping up on the races. Ed, oh, we got a Rubik's fan in here too. Right. Well, we'll try to keep an eye on you guys out here. It's spectating experience for all of us. good time. I don't get this. I go ahead and hop into the driver chat here.
So I missed out on any kind of information.
It was only the pit entry.
Yeah,
Okay.
just use the pit lane entry as it is marked on the ground.
Respect the lines. Oh,
Wow.
Zedian.
Someone is winding very much.
Yes.
Yeah, Zedian was breathing hard. Stop
That's
breathing,
when
Zedian.
I am
All right. Well, I'm sick of that already. So we're just gonna sit in here and talk amongst ourselves until the guys get business straight.
What's happening there?
They're just talking to Zedian about pit entry or something. Like, I don't know what. I think is Zedian in the lobby. I don't know what's going on. I couldn't figure it out. Everybody's mics sounded absolutely horrid. Really want to hang around to find out. Like we had any massive talking to. Oh, we've been sitting here on for a while. Oh, my jam. Oh, here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting underway now with the 90 minutes of racing here at Fuji. Looks clear. So we'll see what these guys can do in some clear weather. The full forecast is exactly clear now. Might stay that way. We might have a dry race. You guys are sick of the rain. Real weather, real weather in the springtime was nice.
I just got the report from the central, and they said it's gonna be rain at the start. Sorry, dry on the start and rain after the half.
Oh,
Second
okay.
half.
That's what I like. I like the transitional type of weather. Well, I'm fine with that. I think it was Mason that got pole in LMP. Is Turambar even here today? Oh, Turambar had
Nope. He
had another engagement, didn't he?
is on vacation.
Yeah. So it's bring up those standings again. For LMP, Flickin' Flockin' is I can't count, man. 16 points behind Turambar. So if Flickin', well, you're here, so that's not gonna happen. Mason is
Yeah.
maybe next week, huh? Anyway, my point is Turambar's gone and everybody else is pretty close on points, so it's really anybody's call for LMP1.
Yeah, it's gonna be tight, I think.
Yeah, I mean you're still in second, even though you've been with me in the past two races. I don't know how that's happened.
I think it's the third.
Is it not up to date? Maybe. Anyway, everybody's like a point or two within reach of each other in the top 5 for LMP. Let's see the GT3 standings again. We got Rubix in the lead with 83, Bill Kerman with a 69, and Logger with a 63. Have a 55 and Serd. We're gonna hear the lights go off here, and we're gonna start on our formation lap. I don't know if they quite look. Oh, they're actually almost in the order that they need to be in already. So we might just have the one formation lap and be done with it. Yeah, Jack, that's what I'm saying. Let's get this show on the road. I'm ready for it. Fans are ready for it. I'm sure the drivers are ready for it. If they're not, I don't care. We're all ready for it here, so it's gonna be close. There's another situation where like the top 10, 12, 15 GT3 cars are within like 2 seconds of each other, so it's going to be some really tight racing. I'm looking forward to it. That's Mason in pole position, Chris in second, Jack is in third, or how good am I, rather, is in third place. I call him Jack, we're friends like that. Not even his name, I don't know why. Bill Kerman snuck into the pole position. I don't know if it was a timing glitch or if he really just banged out a final lap that was just monstrous, because it looked like he went from a 150 to a 148 in one lap. But Echo was just a what was it, a couple hundredths behind Kerman, so it's gonna be tight. It's gonna be tight up here. You can see Apex Envy back there in 5th for GT3. So this team, Granola Joe's unholy trio of whatever, I don't even remember what their name is. It's really long. Looking good for their team. Echo and his teammate are pretty up there too. Sierra managed 3rd place here, and we've seen some pretty good performances from him in the past. So it's a good spot to be in, but he's got lots of competition. That's Rubik's behind him. And just lots of really fast guys. Jim Boom is back there as well. The LMPs are on the start-finish straight now.
Jim Boom was the guy who made last race without any fuel.
Yeah, yeah. That was Jim Boom. That's Jim Boom who's done that twice. So once the individual car crosses the start-finish line here under that Panasonic bridge, they should be off and racing unless we've got any issues. Yeah, we are off. The race is a go. Jack is immediately going to the inside for turn 1. Oh, almost a little bumperino there with Chris. Not sure if there's any contact made there, but Jack has popped up into P2 already, and it looks like Kimi Rafer and Chris are fighting it out already. Let's check in quick with the GT3s, see if any drama goes on here. A little slip slide from Echo. Nothing too wild. Looks like that Logger in the Merc is looking hungry. He's looking around for lines outside of Jim Boom. Or maybe just taking alternative lines here. He looks like he's pretty hungry. The LMPs are actually pretty close in qualifying today too, but now that it's in the dry, any real pace differences are going to be more pronounced because of how consistent they can be in the dry. Oh, looks like Logger and Jim Boom. No, that wasn't them. That was Snacks and Paulie. And Snacks gets just a little tap in the, or Snacks and Dummy. Yeah, we'll go with that. Yeah, if you get hit in that right quarter panel or left quarter panel or whatever in the rear, it's gonna be Spin City, so you gotta watch out for those. Not ideal, but here we see the Falcon Porsches just going for it. Jaxa and Domi are in those teal and blue Falcons. So nothing quite changed with our leaders here. They're still stuck in our GT3 leaders. One, two, three, four, and Farways. Rubik's is kind of gaining a second and a half or so over Logger here, and then Logger is at the front of this other pack that's sort of going here. Oh, going a bit wide there. And Jim and Have a Nice Day are going side by side in these Audis. Oh boy. We're gonna have us an Audi fight here. Oh. Hopefully that was just a little touch of leg and not any real contact. Looks like they're fine. They're carrying on. Man. They're getting so close in the turns, and this is just what happens when you race with a lot of guys that you know that you're on the track with week in and week out. These guys know exactly how much they can trust each other out here, and they can get within inches of each other as long as latency allows it and not have any major issues. It's really, really solid driving for these guys, from these guys rather. Here we see Train 1, Kubik's at the back of it in the Bilstein Merc. Sheared ahead of him, Echo and Kerman, and then Loggers leading the train behind them. The LMP field, excuse me. LMP field looks like Mason has just run off. He's gone. Mason is 9 seconds ahead already. I don't know how he managed that. How good am I? Just a few or so seconds. You can actually see the LMP field still on the same straight, so nothing too wild going on there. It's just a couple seconds between the LMPs, so once we start seeing some overlap, which we are going to on the next lap, here you see Mason just starting to get the GT3s within view here. So now is when the drama starts, as if it wasn't wild enough. We're gonna start to see the lapping going on here. Trying to watch the leaderboard as well, see if anything wild happens. Jim and Have a Nice Day still going side by side in these Audis. Oh my goodness, this is a fun little deathmatch between these Audi R8s. Jim is in the red and black one there, the Berghoff Belgian WRT Audi whatever, and Have a Nice Day is in that beautiful yellow and gray Red Bull livery there. That is Logger in the Merc going a little bit wide. Jim's got a good run of it, and Logger's tucking in. Now Logger's gonna have to contend with Have a Nice Day here.
Looks like Jim is using lower downforce.
Yeah.
He's faster on the straight all the time.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the. Ooh, it looks like he slipped out a little bit there. I don't know where his downforce was that time. Yeah, it's interesting to see the two cars of the same make and model fight, because then you get to see really get to see the driver style and how their setups might be different. So look forward to seeing more drama on that front. It looks like Echo sticking in with Bill Kerman, the class leader here. 1 second gap between them. Echo's right where he wants to be. That curve just looks dangerous.
Rubik's got disconnected.
Oh no! That is unfortunate. Rubik's, the points leader for GT3, got disconnected. Dang. That's too bad. We're having such a good matchup out here, so I hate to see one of the top contenders get disconnected like that. That's sim racing though. This stuff happens. Technical difficulties arise. Sometimes you get put out of a race. Dang. I'm a little hurt. I find new ways to be offended about Project Cars 2 every single day. I'm just gonna blame the game instead of Rubik's internet. But in any case, Echo's still tucked in with Bill there. Chris is within a second of Kimi Rafer up there ahead. Logger, Jim, and Have a Nice Day still in a bit of a train here. That Polly that's in the other.
You can pull in Rubik's to the Discord if you want. He's up here.
Oh, yeah, let's have him. Rubik's, hello.
Hello.
How's it going, man?
I got disconnected.
That is depressing.
And I had a good pace and I was on the wet setup, so I had good chances to maybe even win the race.
Yeah, you're a top contender. Everybody is really tight up there, so it's really depressing to see one of the contenders to just drop out like that.
And I had a complete setup for the wet, so... Nah, well, happens.
It was a really dramatic quali session for you guys.
Yeah, the track cleared up towards the end because it was stopping to rain.
MDK is in the chat saying, I can't be there, so thoughts and prayers to my teammate to get his second podium of the season. That would be Sjord out here with Team Davalex. And he's in third right now. He's hanging
But
behind.
his pace isn't really good. I was hanging behind him and he's like half a second or at least a second off the pace.
Yeah, he was right there in qualifying, but maybe consistency is not great because he's 5.5 seconds behind Echo right now.
It looks like he's running low down for us for some reason, which doesn't make sense because it's gonna start raining. He was on the straights really fast, but he's really struggling in those fast corners.
Yeah, making up time on the long start finish straight could work for some cars, but I don't know if I'd really go that route here in a GT3 car. But we'll see what happens. Sjord has pulled some really incredible stuff off in the past, so we'll see how he hangs in there. Yeah, Rubik's, how much is your point lead that you got? That's disconcerting. That
I needed to get top 3 or top 4 to stay in the lead safely, and now if Bill is winning, he will be the leader in the standings.
man. Well, I think we are doing Joker race for worst result this season too, so I guess this would count as your.
I already had a 7th place in the last race, so that's not good either.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Well, it's still better than mine.
You
I
guys,
got my last 3 races. Can it be 3 races, not just 1? Joker?
yeah, no, that's just one race that you can Joker, but you're still, you guys are still, even though you're here in the commentary box with me, you guys are still well into the top 5 for your respective fields, or top 1 or 2. But yeah, there's gonna be some ground to be made up after this one, I guess.
What's gonna be next week track?
Road America next week.
I really hope I get back my wheel.
Yeah, man.
I really miss these fights.
Right. You got to defend your title here. It's miss another one. It's gonna be hard to make up those points. But at this point, if you get it next week, you can still hang on to some good points for the season. A blip for Hillbilly Chris. He's still about a second behind Kimi Rafer there. What's going on with Echo? Oh, Echo passed Kerman for the lead of the GT3 category. And both of them have about a 5.5 second lead to Sjord in third still. But if Kerman and Echo battle it out a little bit more, Sjord could make up some of that.
By the way, what's happened with Mason? What's he eating? He is really fast.
He's eating Wheaties, the breakfast of champions, every week. Yeah, his last lap was a 125. So a real low 125. He's 2 seconds faster than Jack. Gimme Rafer and Chris are putting in 125s as well. I don't know what Jack's
I
doing
think
out here.
it's a slow lap from Mason. The lap before was 22, I think.
Whoa, yeah, that's outrageous. He's got a 20-second lead over second place right now. That's absolutely monstrous.
I think he has the skill and talent for make a fast lap, but he is lacking from consistency side, I think.
Okay.
The last race he is fast too, but he doesn't have enough consistency to stay there.
Yeah, it's sometimes hard if if you're not. I don't know how familiar he is with LMPs in general. I mean, he seems fairly adept at them, but I think he should know now he's got a 20-second lead. He can ease up and kind of just get in that sort of 80% race pace or so, and just live for the rest of it instead of pushing too hard. That last lap of his was pretty slow. It was a 129.
Yeah, that's when the shit happens. If you ease up, you're lacking from concentration, and then you're gonna do a mistake. I don't like it.
Yeah, you don't like the 80% race pace type of thing?
No, I always going 100% if I can. I remember a lot of times I ease up in the last 2-3 laps and do a mistakes, spin out and lose 10-20 seconds just because of that.
That
And
makes sense.
and it's happening every time I ease up at the end of the race. So
Yeah,
that's why I don't like it.
I can see how that would happen. It's not common, when you're learning to race, they don't commonly say, just drive at 100% the whole time. But once you sort of realize where your zone is, it's like a meditative zone that you get into, and that's just, flat out fast as you can, really. That's just the sweet spot. So I guess, taking yourself out of that sweet spot to try to be safe or whatever can be hindering.
Yeah, if you go 100%, you get some kind of rhythm through there, every lap after lap, hitting the same times, hitting every corner the same.
Yeah.
And when you ease up, you're gonna take longer breaks or braking different points and different lines. So that's why you make a mistake, I think.
Ooh, a little bit of contact there between Lager and Sjord. Jim has snuck
Started
up.
raining, I think. Sorry.
Oh, no problem. Jim has snuck up into third, and Sjord has dropped into fourth now. Lager is hot on the trail here. I'm not sure what became of Have a Nice Day. He dropped back 3 seconds out of this train that was previously had a couple more cars in it. Bill Kerman getting a little bit cut off by a LMP here. He's not going to be able to make his move on Echo for a while. So we'll keep an eye on the Lager, Sjord, and Jim train here.
Laura is probably on soft tires and everyone else on hard tires, because he said they are better for him after a few laps. So that can be an advantage now, but he probably has to do 2 stops. So he needs to push.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's for an hour and a half of softs. That's going to be... Oh, looks like he went a little deep there, but his last lap, well, prior to this lap, was, I think, the fastest in the GT3 field. So Lager's definitely got the pace right now, but he's going to have to keep it together in order to make any significant gains off of this pace, because right now, not getting a lot done. He's got Jim Boom and Sjord back up into third, as we see ahead of us. I like when there's a battle, like a 3-car type of thing, and we can just keep track of all of them on the same like roof cam. That's always nice. That's comfy. That's the comfy stuff right there. And oh, almost going too wide to that dreadful hairpin. Hate that thing. That chicane. Ugh, get it out. As I said before, I'm not really fond of the last sector of Fuji at all in general, but really that hairpin chicane is... I understand why it's there, but I don't like it. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say, yeah, putting the chicane into Fuji was really great.
But it destroys the rhythm always of the lap.
Yeah. You can be in the rhythm the whole time, and then you get to that turn and it's like, oh, here we go. Oh, Natalie is in the chat. She says at a wedding and yet keeping track of the boy. Yeah, he's doing all right here. We're with him. He's in 5th for GT3. He's been putting in some good work. That's great. Jim back up into these guys are just flip-flopping. This battle has been going on for laps and laps, and they just keep flip-flopping. And this is, as I said before, there's been, you know, a little bit of Rubbins racing here, but no real incidents. These guys know what each other are capable of, and know how they can sort of react to each other. As we see Jim and Sjord trading places left and right, and just dogfighting with each other. And looks like Sjord got the squeeze there in between Logger and Jim. There wasn't. I think he was kind of late to the inside there, kind of late to the corner party, and got a little bit of the pressure both sides. 1 hour, 6 minutes, and 50 seconds left of the race. So we are not even halfway there, and we've already had some pretty solid drama. Let's see what's going on back here. Got Floscub sneaking up on Paulie a little bit. Domi, Snacks, and Felix-479298 are on their own little train back here. Oh, taking a peeker on the inside.
Really bad exit now.
What's that?
He had a really bad exit now because of that, so he will probably can't pass him now in the first corner.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing some rain. I saw some rain on one of the corners, at least, on one of the cameras. Apex dropped like a stone at some point. I don't know what exactly happened, but...
It was right in the first lap. In turn 2, he spun out because the tires were cold, and then his rear was overtaking his front, which is not a good thing, normally.
Yeah, generally not, huh?
Right in that corner here, he came on the curb, on the braking zone, and then he just spun out.
That is too bad. He had a pretty solid qualifying and start of the race, but
he was 5th before that.
Yeah, these things happen. I mean, we had a lot of guys really close in time at the start of the race, so there's bound to be some drama right off the bat when everybody's that close in time, and they're going to be pushing hard. Now, Logger's dropped to about a second behind Sjord. Sjord's nearly a second behind Jim, with Peck's kind of spread out a little bit. It's the Holly and Have a Nice Day are grouped up there. They got not a 1-2, it's a 6-7, but that's pretty good. Red Bull Audi team. So, I guess we'll stick with Paulie for a lap here. Because Oh no, it looks like these guys are getting into a battle again. I didn't get to finish my qualifying full lap walkthrough so you can get a idea of it, but yeah, I don't really know the track that well to begin with, so I'm not much of a person to ask, honestly.
Echo and Kerman are really close for the lead.
Oh yes. Delta's not quite enough to trigger my little warning here, but he's not lost sight of him, and it does look like there's a little bit of, maybe it's just on my screen, I don't see any wipers going.
Yes, it's raining.
Okay.
But it will probably take still like 5 to 10 minutes till it's an option to switch to rain tires.
Yeah, they're gonna have a sort of transitional phase here. We got an hour left of the race, so it's gonna get kind of wild here. There's a handful of laps that are sort of intermediate conditions where these guys are gonna have to make the decision to keep pushing on slick tires or put some wet tires on. And I think
as soon as we see 145 from the GT3s, then it's time to switch to the rain tires.
yeah, that seems fair. You don't want to go on too early because it'll burn your tires out, and you'll lose a lot of time on wets in sort of intermediate conditions. So we'll see how they manage this. I think the smart guys in the field will have a decent strategy for throwing wets on for this race, because it was up in the air whether it was going to be clear or wet. So expecting a transitional phase like this would have been the smart thing to do for strategy.
I did that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too.
Hashtag me too.
Rubik's, what you didn't do is upgrade your internet before the race.
Fair point.
Got no problem with your racecraft. Lager and Stewart are going to have it out on this lap. Surprise brake check. I'm gonna eat
Should
a
cover the
cookie.
inside line.
I feel like I've earned a cookie so far into the race. I'm gonna reward myself. Yep, he's going inside.
He's
Yours?
so slow.
Uh,
No, he's not getting it.
Nearly got the overlap there, but not enough. That was kind of brave of Sear to say, no, I'm just gonna stay wide and hit it normal and go for it. He didn't really take a defensive posture. Now he's taking the inside. Now he's getting a defensive posture around 100 ARB.
But he's still on the inside of the corner.
Oh, and Lager gave him the over-under. Too wide. Sierrad's still got the inside, though. Lager will have the inside on this kink. Might have the momentum. I think he does. Yes. Sierrad tucks in just behind him. It's not over yet. Here's that horrible, horrible hairpin. Sierrad has gone too deep. And he says, I'm going to keep on going. There, he does the right thing, tucks back in behind Lager there. I was wondering if he was just going to blast through that grass for a second.
You can do it, but you get 20 damage in front and on the engine, so it's not worth it.
Yeah, maybe not. But this battle is not over there. He lost some time there, but Lager's got the position for now, and only a 1 second gap. Oh, Echo and
tires are
Kerman.
gonna go in shit now.
Yeah, we're well within the danger zone, I'd say, of where slicks are going to be starting to lose a lot of their grip, and it's also not at the point where wets are appropriate to use. So this is where we might see some accidents. And Bill Kerman is choosing now of all times to push on Echo. I mean, I guess while they got some good grip left in these tires, they may as well use it, huh?
If they have the hard tires, they last very long, maybe even the whole race.
Oh yeah.
So that shouldn't be a problem. It just should be a problem for people that put the soft tires on at the start of the race to
Yeah.
gamble a bit.
Right. Well, it probably would have, that gamble would have paid off, it seems, as Softs only need to last for about a half hour, 45 minutes-ish in this race, apparently. Logger's got a penalty. Logger's got a 2-second penalty for being too damn cute. So hopefully that'll teach him. Oh, Rubik's, I tried your recommendation of changing the FOV, and I just couldn't stand to look at it. So I turned it back. It's just like, I don't mind it. Like, it's useful in like the roof cam, you know, and it's just disorienting for me to look at. Like, I can't bear to look at it for more than a couple seconds at a time. So I guess I'm to the point where I'm just anal retentive about FOV. So I've graduated to a new level of sim dattery.
Yeah, you get used to it, to the better FOV, and then you won't go back to the shit public FOV that everyone uses that's playing Forza and such.
Yeah, the fisheye. It feels so fast, and the track looks like it's 4 feet across. I don't care much for the sensation of speed. I want to become the embodiment of speed. And you do that by having good spatial awareness with a proper FOV. This message brought to you by FOV Calculator. They're not sponsoring the stream, but
They should.
They feel free if you're out there. FOV Calculator. I don't think they've got the money to pay for advertising. They just run a free calculator on a website, but hey.
Looks like Bill Kerman's tires are overheating because he's struggling in every corner now.
Oh.
Sideways again here.
And I wish I had tire telemetry.
Yeah, but you are the race director. You can't have that.
Yeah, why would the race director have up-to-date information on everything going on in the race?
You have that chicken?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm a broadcaster, so I don't have that. I just see what Dustin sees.
Well, we're under the hour mark pretty well now. We got 56 minutes left in the race, and it is raining. I don't know. What was it? The rain's supposed to persist for the rest of the race? I think it probably will.
Yes.
Yeah.
We only get 2 weather slots in one race, so when it will start rain, it will be rain till the end.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what type is rain?
The normal
Light rain or thunderstorm, maybe?
No, normal rain, not light rain and not thunderstorm.
Oh,
just normal.
I hope for
heavy.
thunderstorm.
Bill's car is always oversteering at the end of the corner. He maybe will get a problem in the wet.
Do you see his tire pressure?
No. Why should I? It's
Yeah.
not important information.
We don't need anything aside from the knowledge that the cars go vroom vroom, and it's great. We love that.
Well, if you join to spectate only, you can see in the top right corner, the tire temperature
Yeah.
with colors and the pressure with numbers.
And isn't that a little weird that just any old spectator gets more more telemetry than race director? Isn't that odd? Isn't it slightly mad that something like that would happen?
That's why it's slightly Mad Studios.
I can't go a single stream without throwing a little bit of shade at Slightly Bad. Love Project Cars. Still my daily driver. Absolutely love the game, but we're not going for affiliation with SMS, so I can talk as much shit as I want. I got a license to kill. So for a moment, Bill was right up on Echo, but they are dealing with some LMP traffic, or well, LMP traffic is dealing with them and has separated them a little bit here. Nobody's pitted yet, I don't think. Did you guys see anybody pit that I missed? There's
Yeah,
one.
right now they start.
And now it's gonna be time because you start to see a bit of the weighing behind the cars. So that's the time when you can go to the wet tires.
Yep, that's... I haven't taken a good look. Let's get a bumper cam here. Take a look at the road surface a little bit.
Yes, that's definitely time to switch now.
Yeah, it's getting shiny all over, so it's definitely sort of full wet conditions. It's right at
The main thing is you need to look if the car has already that tiny bit of spray that Echo has now. That's when you have to switch.
Ah, yeah.
But the thing is, it's probably not wet on every part of the track yet.
Right.
Because that middle sector looked clear now, at least on the racing line. So you can still wait a few laps. Might like one or two, but you should probably pit, especially when you are behind, like Have a Nice Day is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
The
definitely
first one.
definitely getting there. The live track, for especially, I mean, in general, live track 3.0 is amazing with most of its transitions. I know at Fuji, it's varied from corner to corner. There's a lot of elevation changes here, and it's modeled really well how different stuff gets wet differently. I've raced here in full rain and transitional periods a couple of times, and it's definitely not going to be the same all over. But yeah, that throwing spray up from the tires is definitely a good indicator to look for, because that means that, you know, there's enough water on track for the tires to be catching it, you know. If it's...
And it looks like the last sector is still clear, just the first and middle sector that are wet.
Yeah. Oh, Bill's just struggling with that turn one a lot, and the final turn dunes. But I think Bill at this point is probably saying, I'll pit when Echo does. I'm gonna keep pushing and pit when Echo does, maybe.
Maybe you should try an undercut now. Because
Yeah.
it doesn't look like he can pass him on the straight, and here in the infield it's probably getting really hard.
Yeah, I think it's actually probably worth pitting for Bill right now, because he's been losing that back end, and he's played his mind games. He's played his games with Echo. He said, I'm here, I'm fast, get used to it. But an undercut would be a viable move at this point, most likely. So that's Pauly and Floscub into the pits now. That Floscub in the Red Bull? Pauly in the Red Bull. Where's... Oh, they're in the same pit box, I think. That's cool. We don't need no stinking laws of physics. As long as the cars go vroom. Logger's caught up to Jim Boom here. Jim has been slacking on his lap times here in these intermediate conditions.
Logger is the fastest man on the track at the moment.
Yeah, he's been absolutely slaying on these. I mean, he's got his just really great moments out here in the first portion of the race.
It's probably because he has soft tires and now the track is like is now getting cold, so his tires work better.
Yep.
That's why he can stay out a bit longer, maybe 1 or 2 laps than the others.
Jim into the pits now, and someone else went in. Jaxa, Apex NV in the pits. So now's the great switcheroo of 2018 as everybody pits for their wet tires. Echo and Kermit still out, Logger still out, but we're gonna have a new top 3 within 15 minutes.
Now the whole lap is wet, so they need to pit now. If they don't pit now, they will probably have a problem.
Yeah, and are they staying
still
out
don't.
again? They're just fighting it out, man. It's just like pride fighting right now. There's no point to it.
I think one of them will go and spin on this lap.
Yeah, I mean, they've just been pushing so hard, fighting for the lead of the race in these intermediate conditions. They go side by side here. It's so risky at this point. I mean, it's a lot of risk and not a lot of reward. That's what baffles me about this.
Bill braked on the wet side and he went wide at the exit. So if Echo is smart, he will just stay behind Bill now and just wait till he can pit.
And Logger has gone in for tires now. So now here's that shuffle. The 47928. Who was it?
Felix.
Felix, yeah. He's now in 4th. He went from the bottom to the top in these pit stops. We've got
Is he still on dry tires?
I don't know if he's pit yet or not.
Yes.
Yeah. But this is
What
what.
the hell was...
What's that?
What the hell Mason is doing? He has 1 minute lead.
He's got that. I don't know what car he's got, but I think it's got a VTEC, and I think it's kicking in.
Bill is coming in.
And Echo looks like. But yeah, this major shuffling due to pit strategy is definitely what we're gonna see when the GT3 field. Look at that pit lane. When the GT3 field is so close in times, we're gonna see a lot of shuffles due to strategy here. If anybody has,
Billy's missed his pit.
Yes.
Did you
Bill
see?
missed- Yeah.
oh no.
Does he have to go? Oh, he went into the wrong pit.
That
That cost him a few seconds.
And when everybody's 3 seconds apart, that's a very costly mistake to make. I'm gonna go ahead and apologize in advance for Bill.
We need to clip this for him.
Yep.
Now it's gonna be interesting who has a wet setup and who went for the dry setup, because if you have a dry setup and your camber is not really low, then you're gonna ruin your wet tires in a few laps. So we maybe will see one more pit stop from the GT3s.
That's quite possible. It's, looks like Echo only took. I don't even know if he took fuel. Maybe he's got 71 liters.
You don't need to pick fuel now because you needed only 13 liters with complete dry race, and because lap times will go slower now, they will probably can make it with like only a few liters extra, or even just by fuel saving.
Okay. Yeah, we've seen that. I mean, we saw that in the last race a little bit. But messing with my microphones, it still work. There we go. Yeah, we saw the fuel saving bite some people last round, but it's definitely, if you can, skimp on the fuel. a good move to make. So Echo and Kerbin are back out in 1 and 2. Sjerd is in 3rd now. Jim Boom in 4th. Logger 5th. Not a lot has changed in the top 5, really. But that Felix is still... Well, I don't know if he's pit yet. He's sliding a lot. Still in 7th. Oh, I think he must have pit if everybody else pit, and he's 7th now. That's pretty good. Floscub got disqualified for speeding in the pits. Pit speed limiter button didn't work, and was on full throttle. Bad luck. Anyways, wish you guys good luck. Thanks, Floscub. That is bad to hear. I noticed the people are dropping up. Paulie retired now, too. We've only got 12 cars in the GT3 field. I feel like we got 2, 3... We're missing like 4 people. Rubik's, you're one of them, and then one other person disappeared off the list.
What's happened with Paulie?
I'm not sure. He might join us in the box and let us know. We'll see.
The pit entry is really hard because there's a chicane before that, and if you don't brake early enough, you will hit the wall and then a spin.
Big spin from Felix. That's going to be costly. He had some good position going there. Looks like he's recovered and is on his way.
Yeah, he's still on dry tires.
Oh.
And he spun again.
So that 3rd to 7th wasn't due to a pit stop. It was just due to losing time on the dry tires. I don't know if he had his pit strategy set exactly right, but you know, he's... Whoa.
Can we take a look? Did he use traction control? Or is he turned off?
I can't see that.
Yeah, he's driving without traction control.
It looks like it, but yeah.
Why is he not pitting?
No aids.
Wait, he's not pitting.
Did he go past it again?
What the fuck?
I don't think he has a strategy set for wets or something. I don't.
Yeah, but you can do it in this ICM menu. You can
yeah.
choose wet tires. I rewrite him in Steam.
There's a... Oh, is Polly here?
Hi, Paulie.
Hey, what happened?
Too early again. That's the end of the story.
Too early? You killed
Yeah,
your
rear
tires?
tyres were 130 degrees.
Woof.
By the way, do the GT3s have traction control? Without
They do have driving aids. I know Bill doesn't use them. I don't think Echo's using traction control.
Speaking of Bill, he's dropped to 3rd. Sjord is now in 2nd place. I missed that action.
Well, if you want a bit of an update, Bill is also struggling with tyre temperatures.
Yeah, it seemed like he... Whoa! That LMP looked a little skittish. Yeah, we've seen Bill lose the back end a little bit repeatedly. I think Rubik's mentioned that he's probably struggling for tires because he was suffering on a lot of corners.
Yeah, I mean, I was struggling with my rear. It was fine in the dry. I think applying a dry setup to have it go over to these conditions is just too much.
Yeah.
I mean, I had traction control on, and they were getting way too hot in the second half of the track. And I think Bill's been struggling with his temps a little bit. It might settle off when it gets a bit heavier, a bit wetter.
Yeah, the problem is with the wet tires on GT3, if you don't have your brake ducts, really open, then
Oh,
what the fuck?
jeez! That LMP. Oh my goodness. That LMP just went for a Formula Drift run there and did not have a good time with it. Yes, that was Jans. He's sitting there thinking about his life a little bit.
He stalled his engine.
You gotta get that clutch in. Yeah, back to sort of wet strategy, as Paulie mentioned with setups. If you go in, I think we can forgive some newer members to this type of racing if they, there's a lot of moving parts to get right if you want to have a solid, good race in dry to wet or wet to dry, because there's so many moving parts and so many things that can go wrong. with strategy, with setup, and just with performance.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I had a very good dry setup, but not very good wet.
Yeah, and that's something, you know, you might. I don't usually personally do like a wet. Hello.
We can hear
Hello.
you.
All right, I got my whole internet down for a moment.
Felix is spinning again.
Have we lost the stream?
It's reconnected now, so we'll be back at it. Just a moment. I've got the browser up.
It must have gone down very quickly because your name didn't even vanish. You just stopped talking.
Yeah, it was about a just 5-second outage, and then it came right back. I don't know what the deal is there, but I'm loading back in to the race now. In the meantime, Husky came up into chat, said, "LOL, glad I didn't race. 100% rain, boys." Would have been a pain driving the Porsche in this. Yeah, we haven't seen very good Porsche performance out there today, actually. Husky's usually sort of up there in the front of the pack with Porsches, but Jaxa and Domi, I believe, are in the Falcon. Am I correct?
What have you done?
Hello. I think my internet service is having a moment of terror. I may have to like cycle my router to try to get it back, but I am.
We can hear you.
Yeah,
Every time.
I'm back in the race too. Still, that didn't even drop somehow. Stream dropped, but we should be back now. All right, sorry about that, guys. Bear with us. If I keep having issues, I'm just gonna go ahead and restart the stream fully. But for now, we're back in the action. Echo is still in the lead. Shard still in second. Kerman still in third. Mason holding on to a 1.5-minute lead over How Good Am I in second for LMPs.
Oh wow, didn't even see that happen. His quality time was nearly over 3 seconds faster than anyone, wasn't it?
Who's?
Mason and the LMPs. Yeah, he was absolutely blistering out there. The LMPs in general were pretty close in the quali, but haven't had too much drama out there. Kimmy is right up on How Good Am I now, though, now that we mention this.
I think Mason just find the hybrid button.
Kimmy is a hovering car for me.
Oh, really? I hate that. I hate the hover cars. No, he's fine on mine, I think. Oh, he's gonna go side by side, and he's got the inside. He's gonna have the outside. No, I think he's got it done. I try to get around. Oh,
Oh, no.
massive collision
Oh,
between
no.
Kimmy and one of either Jaxa or Domi there. And
That was really nasty.
That was Kimmy's fault. He tried to pass them, so How Good Am I stuck behind them for 2 more corners, but there was no gap to pass those GT3s.
yeah, that was.
That collected Echo on the way through. That was Echo involved.
Was
in
that Echo? Oh, I thought that was
Yeah.
Domi and Snacks here are the same team that was involved.
Yeah, that was Echo that was involved. I was on board with it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Domi's definitely hurt by that. He's got front end damage. Whoops, don't quit. Yeah, he's got some serious damage for that. Let's check Echo out. Can't see his damage metrics, but we can take a peek at it.
It was quite a hard hit into the wall.
Yeah, that was a mess.
We'll see what his lap times are like.
They definitely suffered on the last one. It was a 155. Domi got a bigger hit with a 158 for that collision. That is Jack. How good am I into P2 after that? And Kimmy managing to hold on to P3 here at 20
Someone
seconds.
needs to pull Flick-Flacken back in the channel.
Oh,
So I'll do it, Dustin.
okay.
Looks like Kimmy doesn't have too much damage because of the incident.
No, he's got some
Hopefully.
arrow damage. He's been sliding out, and he just went wide there. Doesn't appear to be too much damage, but his arrow is definitely, or arrow or suspension or something got compromised because he's been having more issues after that.
I asked the guys, Echo has damage too. I don't know how much, he can't look at it, but he has some damage.
I'm wondering if... Don't worry.
I'm a little worried now.
Just keep an eye on engine temperatures, but they're all pretty similar.
They should be all fine because they probably set those temperatures, the ducts or the radiator opening for dry for the first part of the race, so it's probably colder now, so it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, as far as the participants of that collision, doesn't look like any radiator damage. Everybody's within a somewhat safe operating range. Katana Kiwi in chat says Sjord made up 6 seconds in the last 3 laps on Echo. He's got 17 to go, but if he keeps at that rate, he... Oh, Echo did have that incident, so I think 4 seconds were lost due to that.
But he did set a 53, and that's not far off. Well, it's good pace.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and Sjord's last lap on my timings is a 152.4, which is, on the last lap, was the fastest in the GT3 field, so Sjord is absolutely off and running here in the wet.
My race pace was like 49, 48 seconds in the wet, so bad that I disconnected. Would have been great now with like 3 seconds fast.
Oh, I just realized that I can see on the speedometer if people have ABS and traction control on. I'm gonna have to rescind at least a slight bit.
You can see.
Yeah, yeah.
If it's white, it's on. You cannot see?
Oh, he can see.
Yeah, I can. I didn't think I could before, and I don't know if that was part of my shade that I was throwing on the race director mode here, but I can actually see the assists here, yeah.
Looks like Bill got so much overheating problems with the rear tires that he starts to use traction control now, because in the Barcelona race he didn't use it in the wet.
He almost never uses traction control, so the fact that he's turned that on means that Bill is definitely struggling for grip. Bill in P3 has a comfy little gap between everybody's gaining a little bit on Sjord, and Jim Boom is 16 seconds behind him. Under 30 minutes to go now. We got 29 minutes and 30 seconds left of the race, and we will see what drama conspires here.
Paulie, can you look what Felix and the last guy in the last one, what tires they have? Because they are so slow. Are they still on dries?
They're on wets.
Okay, finally.
6 steps Stanker has just spun and got back on track. Do we have some... Ooh.
Oh, good
Echo.
advice. Taking an alternative line there. Go ahead, Paul.
Echo has a 10-second penalty.
10
Ooh.
seconds. Oh my goodness.
Apex Envy as well.
Logger has a 2-second penalty. Yeah, Apex has a 10-second penalty.
Do
So
you guys see how good am I?
if
He's
Echo-
taking some really interesting excursions here. Anyway, continue, Polly.
I'll just have to go on board with it. Let's have a look. Yeah, interesting, because after 5 seconds, he should have got a drive-through penalty. So,
I see. We've had this come up before though, where a full 10-second penalty goes on. So I don't know. I maybe should mention that to one of the drivers and find out, because we've had
I think that happens when you go too fast in the pit lane, but not so fast that you get disqualified.
yeah, I'm wondering if that was a pit lane infringement more than a cut track.
We've seen the full 10-second penalty multiple times this season so far, and it is a big one. That could be very costly to Echo at this point. Jared's.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's a pit lane thing. That is not a racetrack thing. I think.
And we see Sjord saving fuel for some reason. He's not on the fast setup of his engine. He's on normal.
Some spectator was just waving at the camera. That's funny.
Echo got the penalty from that collision, I think.
Oh, really?
The game can think stupid things, and when he got punted out
Yeah.
on the line, then maybe it's counted for a cut.
The game probably thought he was unsportsmanlike for getting hit by another car.
Yeah, that
Reasonable.
happens.
26 minutes left of the race here.
And how Bill's doing, seeing if oh, just seen someone spin in the background. That was 479. Don't know what his full name is.
Felix.
I wonder, did he get onto wet tires?
He's on wets.
Okay.
He's on bet.
Yeah, I think everyone's on wets now. I'll go through and I'll have a look.
Yeah,
Only
but we're
like
not
10 laps
sure
delayed.
did he changed or not.
Oh,
that was
no.
Ooh.
It's getting risky out there.
There's a few sections on track where if you get the line slightly wrong, the car really bites, and it can spin you right out. Oh,
Well,
he's lost his rear spoiler. That's
Yeah.
not good.
he didn't have traction control either, so
Yeah. Yeah, not sure what happened there. It looked like he maybe slowed down a little bit and the LMP just couldn't get out of the way and rear-ended him. I'm not sure.
Oh, he's
Exactly.
retired.
Oh, good run, Felix. I mean, good effort. I think Felix has some lessons learned in this race for sure for next time.
A for effort.
traction control.
Traction control, having a setup and a strategy set for these changing weather conditions is absolutely paramount.
So we have a battle coming up. Logger catching up with Have a Nice Day.
Yeah, we are on board with Logger now, and he is just about a second behind Half, but as far as pace is concerned, he's definitely got the pace to make a move on Half soon.
Do we know how much fuel they take per lap?
2.6, but I will calculate if it's enough for him.
I don't think they'll need to refuel.
Ooh, Logger had a bad run of that section.
I think I could have just about made it in the Audi. So I don't think they'll need to refuel.
So it's 12 or 13 more laps, and he has 37 liters left. What did you say?
He got enough.
2.6?
He got enough laps. He got like 4 liters over the. Like he should have 4 liters when he finished the race.
We'll
Because
check
still
on that.
13 laps left and about 2.6 liters per lap. That means 32 liters. So he should be good.
Yeah, that's right.
Aiming rate for going into the pits, probably due to damage.
Or
Possibly.
maybe because it's halfway now since the rain started and rain tires are gone.
That is quite possible as well, yeah.
Maybe someone from the GT3 field that is a bit far behind, like maybe even Bill could try that out. He got a reasonable gap behind, so he can try it in hopes that the wet tires of Echo and Fjord are starting to fall off towards the end.
Well, Bill just done it set a 204, so
Oh. That's not good. Bill's really struggling out there in the rain.
It needs to be a spun.
he's very tail happy, Bill.
Yeah, we've seen that Renault just dominate a lot of different conditions here, but I don't know what the combination is that's gone wrong for him today.
I'm wondering if it's the track, because there's a lot of off camber corners here, and they can be very unsettling.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if it's track.
You need to find.
Disconnected again. I recycled my router and restarting. Booting back up now. I don't know. Stream up. It's actually, apologies for the interruptions. My usually flawless internet decides to haywire on the day that I actually need to stream. Missing anything out there, boys?
No, Logger's just he's getting up the back of Hav again. Much else? Kimmy's really dropped off. He's just set a 216.
That's slower than Bill. With his 204.
Get to see the stream.
Kimi was pitted, right? On that lap.
Let me check.
Nice. Chat. Apologies. You should be back up. And hopefully it's just my router freaking out, not my router. Should be getting back into it now. What happened to Echo?
Not much.
What position is Echo in for you guys?
First.
Fantastic. He's in 6th on my screen. What?
But he's
Sixth
6th
overall.
overall.
He's in 6th in GT3 on my screen, 11th overall.
That's Logger.
No. MDK says P-Cars 2 stable as always. This is actually just my internet. This isn't even Project Cars. But, well, now this is Project Cars, but definitely brought on by my internet. I'm going to just, since we're already having issues, I'm just going to go ahead and try to reconnect once more to see if I can get the timing sorted out there so we can catch the end of it properly. I don't want to have to mentally keep track of where Echo is.
By the way, Echo is closer to Eons than Eons is close to Mason. That's
wow.
funny.
Jans had that big off where he just had to sit on the sideline for like 30 seconds waiting for time. Jans doesn't seem to have too great of a time in the wet there either. And yeah, as mentioned, there's a lot of elevation changes and off-camber stuff here. Fuji's a hard track to tune.
Yeah, there's no perfect setup here. At least that's what I've found. It's either lots of understeer or lots of oversteer. And in the rain, you don't want either of them.
Alright, we're back. The timing screen seems to be fixed. I haven't dropped any frames at all on the stream, so we should be good for the remaining 17 minutes of this race. Thank you so much for bearing with us. Getting random blips on the notifications, but not actually any battles. It keeps blipping.
Logger's close to have still, but not for a move.
Oh, Chris just had a big off, and there
contact.
There was a collision on the rejoin there. Not the best thing in the world there.
The first logger?
Oh,
Yes.
no.
Let's hope he doesn't have damage.
Yeah, that might be bad news for him. Doesn't look completely torn up, but a little bit of damage can go a long way in these conditions.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's got damage because he only just got into 6th gear down that main straight.
That's normal in the AMG.
Oh, okay.
Because you
It's
can't
not that
change the gearing ratio.
On for a lap with Mason to see how he's doing this. I think he just lapped. How good am I? So this here is how you pull a 135 in the rain at Fuji and LMP. The lead has shrunk a little bit from the minute and a half that it was, but still a minute 16 over the next.
It's getting close.
Mason just seems to be absolutely in his element out here. I don't know how he's managed such a flawless performance. We're gonna find out hopefully after the race.
We
I
need
hope
to
he
stay careful.
I hope he keeps this pace up for the upcoming races.
Yeah, you're looking forward for a fight, huh?
Yeah, he looks really fast. I know, as I remember from the last races, he was on the same pace as Jons and Hillbilly Chris, I think almost the same.
Mason's been coming into his own here in the LMPs. We see him often in the sort of midfield. He's had some good finishes and stuff, but he's been really dominant in the LMPs, at least in Flick and Flocken's absence.
Yeah, and Tuamba is on the server as well.
Yep. So he does kind of have he's missing his top challengers out there today, but still just a really consistent and really fast performance out there today.
Constantly better times than the other LMPs.
Yeah, his last lap was a 135 as well. Like, it's just consistency out there. Sjord now within 12 seconds of Echo, and Echo's got that 10-second penalty. So
Sjord had a really good last lap because 152 is really good.
Oh my, yeah, he is on track to be battling Echo within the next 12 minutes, I'd say. Yeah, we got 12 minutes 20 left in the race, and Sjord is looking for a win here.
He probably
He
knows
doesn't
the
need-
penalty.
Yeah, he doesn't need to battle with him. Just
Yeah.
equal.
He just needs to get near him, and he could have this in the bag.
Yeah, that's 2 seconds from the timings I see. What he needs.
Echo must be really struggling with his damage.
Yeah, he's gonna be kicking himself if somebody else's incidental contact with him costs him up in here, but
Is Kimi in the pits or does he have damage or something? Because he just did a 152, which is almost as fast as Fjord.
yeah.
GT3.
Well, he's
Yeah.
just spun again.
Okay.
Off track.
He's using different lines, can't you see?
Oh, he doesn't
Nico
have.
Rosberg lines.
Timmy doesn't
Yeah,
have.
new aerodynamics too.
Timmy's the only one out there without traction control in the LMPs today. That's
Am I the only one who's Kimi missing the engine cover?
Yeah, that's why I said new aerodynamics.
Oh, okay.
oh, he's got it on my screen, but knows. No, he's
I didn't see.
taking enough hits to definitely lose some aero, some body work.
Do you guys see that these GT3s are almost 13,000 RMP?
Yes, it's just a bug, as always in this game.
Yeah, the tachometer goes to 11 and beyond.
Yeah. This needs to be some new rules.
Yeah, I think they're bypassing the bop a little bit by allowing their their engines to go to 13,000.
They're going into hammer type.
10 minutes left now.
The question is, can Mason lap everyone? That would be pretty insane.
I feel like he lapped. Oh, what's the lap time for him? I feel like he lapped Jack already.
Would be.
I saw him pass Jack, and they weren't on the same lap. I think he's lapped everyone.
Flicken, didn't you did that as well in Monza? Like lapping everyone?
No, Turambar was there.
Ah.
I think I cannot lap him. And I don't remember.
Sjord's nearly breached that 10-second gap that he needs.
I think
Oh.
Sjord is saving fuel because his engine is heating up.
Yeah, he's at 215.
He's at 100 over 100 degrees, so that's maybe a problem.
Yeah, I mean, we got some fairly high temperatures for a couple guys in the GT3s. I guess it depends on the car. Like Jax is at 222 Fahrenheit right now, and that's a lot. Sjord is.
I mean, you're safe until about 110-ish. So, I don't know.
Already then it gets critical.
By the way, as I was lapped Turambar on Monza. I just watch it. I did in 2 minutes.
Nice. Sjord is still not in the 10-second gap. Echo is holding his
Oh, yeah.
paces now.
Yeah, but I see better lap times for him. I don't know what's happening. He's putting 1 second better laps every time, but the difference, this gap doesn't change between them.
Yeah, Sjord is not really consistent. Okay, maybe he is. Or it's just because of the, I don't know, because of that is just a live gap and it depends on where they are on the track.
Yeah, the start-finish straight is where you see that time stretch out to the maximum, that gap. That was almost a half second slower than the previous lap, though, for Sjord, but he's still looking good. He's within the 10 seconds now.
Snix is letting him pass. Good job.
By the way, I find out that after the race ends, the gaps are still alive. Like, Mason is gonna end his race, and Jons behind him is not gonna be behind 1 minute 36, just less. So he can close that gap even if the race ends. It's a little bit buggy, I think.
Just another bug.
Yep. Put it on the stack of them in the corner.
Looks like some people miscalculated their fuel like really hard because Mason got 40 liters left. That's like many seconds that he lost in the pit. That could have been a problem if like Flickenflacken was in the race.
Yeah, Chris is out there with 8.9 liters. He's cutting it real close.
Is he gonna make it?
He's going to need to pit, but Kimmy is quite far back, so I don't think it'll matter whether he pits or not.
Jim and Lager are both at about 13 liters, so they're cutting it kind of close here too.
They have enough.
Yes.
I think we calculated this.
Yeah, Chris
They
is the
did
danger.
a really good job with the fuel.
Nico was backline.
It's gonna be interesting after a race where his Echo got this penalty. I think if he got from that collision with the LMP1, the moderators doesn't count in for the results, and he can still keep it his first place.
Yeah, that would be really unfair if he would have gotten that penalty by the collision.
Yeah, that would be worth appealing somehow, I think. So it might be a provisional finishing here, but
The unofficial results.
yeah. But in the meantime, it does look like Sjord's within that gap, so I guess we'll have to see how it goes.
But he has to stay consistent now. One spin and he's out again.
As far as the other deltas go, I don't really know if any battles are going to happen here in the last 4 minutes of the race here.
Build is really slow now. Like Jim and even Jeff are faster than him from lap times. And
Yeah.
even Apex Envy. But he's still probably gonna finish in the top 3, so good for him to have a bad race and still finish in 3rd place.
Yeah, that's not a bad result either for how much we've seen Bill struggle out there with the pit error and just losing the back end everywhere. So yeah, that's some good perseverance on his end.
It looks like everyone went for dry setups, or they just hadn't any wet setups, because those lap times could be like 2 to 3 seconds slower with a good wet setup, even with shit wet tires.
Do you mean faster?
Yeah, faster.
Two and a half minutes, just that 2 laps. Mason's on 132s, so Like 2 laps left. And Sirt's still bobbling around that 10-second time, so might not even be too dramatic here for timing and penalty after the race. We'll see.
Well, I'm seeing a 5-second gap. So
Oh,
What?
yeah, I'm seeing Echo as a. Actually,
If you
like,
see
I'm
the
seeing
coolant
3-second gap. So he's 3 seconds behind Echo on my screen. So
are you watching the live broadcast side at the left side timings?
yeah,
Because you
on-
can see the live gap.
Yes.
yeah, he's 3
above.
seconds on mine. 2 now.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that those are
I think my
completely
time
right.
my times
Those-
might be wrong.
Those.
Yeah, you see the 11 minutes 57 and the 12 minutes 0, right?
No, I'm seeing Echo as a 12-minute dead and Short as a 2044.
Yeah, those yellow times are
Yes.
not always accurate. And
Yeah, I'll ignore mine then. Scrap.
I mean,
Forget
it's
I said that.
it's a good there's like a loose idea of what the gaps are, because sometimes you'll see like guys behind people with a less of a gap there. I'm not exactly sure how that's calculated, but it's not a very accurate live gap.
Well, not the right way, I think. In the SMS way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he is in the zone, like in a 10-second gap. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But it's really close.
Well, where's Mason at? We got 10 seconds left. I wasn't even paying attention. This might be the last lap here. Yep, this is
Yes, it is.
the last lap. Here's Mason with nearly a 2-minute lead now. He has lapped everybody on the circuit today. He has ruled the roost.
He's really cautious now.
Yeah. Don't want to bin it on the last lap. There's like 2 turns left. I don't think he's even gonna force a move with this Audi. That's Jim Boom there. And Mason's just gonna be patient and cross the line in one piece. Oh, maybe not.
That would have been it.
That got sketchy. Dang. That's a little iffy, but Mason.
And someone is waiting.
That was
Doesn't fun
Hillbilly Chris.
Yeah. It doesn't fun to do one more lap because you don't feel lighting.
Yep. What's Chris's fuel at? 0.4. Well, that's Mason for the win of the race here in the LMP. Let's see, that should be how good am I in second for the LMP, and Hillbilly Chris made a tactical decision to wait at the line.
By the way, do you see the time gaps still changing after Mason is...
It's gonna be
completed?
close.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, let's get the map up. Oh, it's on the start finish right now, and he's. Oh.
I think he just got it. Half a second. Yeah, he got it. He's got it by half a second.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
That's the problem with this, it's still changing. This is
Yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah, that was the thing with on the last race, because someone got disqualified because he stopped in the outlap.
Yeah, that was Echo.
Yeah, but the gaps are still changing, so maybe the game counts different way.
We'll see when we
If
get
that's
the last screen. Be alright.
If that's the case, then we should remove the outlap.
The pretty last half of, well, not last half of the race, but the last third of the race here Not a whole lot going on, but I think it was around 8 seconds when he crossed the line there on my screen. So we'll see what we come
And
up
Bill
with.
was 40 seconds behind Sjord.
I don't see a
Wait,
well, I don't see a penalty. Well, there's the penalty. Okay, total time.
he's
Oh,
Echo 1.
Echo won by
A second.
yeah 6
Yeah.
tenths.
7 tenths.
It's not right, I think.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
The live gap showed 9.5 seconds when Echo crossed the line and Sjord was on the start-finish line.
Yeah,
That was what the live gap on the top of the screen showed.
that's
But we got 2 Swiss people on 3 and 4.
Right, I'm going down.
all right. Thank you, Polly. Yeah, so that's Mason in the race win here. How good am I? Second in LMP1. Hillbilly Chris taking third with that tactical finish line business. Looks like Echoes won the GT3. I'm just gonna call it that until somebody corrects me, but I think that's a win for Echo. It was a kind of contentious one here, but call that a win for Echo, and Sjord taking second place here. Bill Kerman rounding out the podium, had a struggle of a race, but managed to get that third place. Jim Boom fourth. Have a nice day, fifth. And that was pretty wild. So we'll get some interviews going here. Oh, Mason's here. Hello.
Yeah, I'm already here. Hello.
Hey, buddy. That was a dominant race, man. How'd that go for you?
I mean, I guess the practice I put in yesterday kind of worked out. I was just faster than everyone. Like,
What did you eat today?
I mean, I made some setup compromise between the dry and the wet because with the LMPs, it's really difficult to get rid of the understeer in the wet. So my setup was a little bit on edge in both, but
Yeah,
just about managed to
we
get
were
under control.
mentioning that sort of a setup compromise is necessary with these transitional weather things, but if Flickin' Flockin' was wondering what you had for breakfast today. I say you had Wheaties, the breakfast of champions.
I mean, I had some chicken earlier, and that was about it.
Chicken, you're on that lean protein.
Yep.
All right.
I'm gonna eat 10 chickens before each race.
Flickin's looking forward to fighting you when he gets his wheel back.
Oh, fantastic.
I could tell he was getting hungry
Looking
watching
forward
you
to
out there. Yeah, it seems like the practice paid off. The setup compromise is kind of necessary for this race, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. I know some GT3s were struggling with that, sort of like about 20 minutes into the rain period. They're having a bit of struggle with their setup. So
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Yeah, do you have any, aside from your setup squirreliness, do you have any oh shit moments out there or any real struggles?
I mean, coming into the second last corner, I think GT3 like had a bit of a wobble and like stopped on the apex basically in front of me, and I got a little bit of front aero damage, so I just dived in the pits and took the extra stop.
Oh, I think that you
We
did.
seen that,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
That
I was a
rear
little bit
end.
worried about fuel after running out of fuel at the end of last race, so I decided to go for a little stop and a little bit of extra fuel that race.
Paid off, man. I think I didn't see the absolute end time screen, but you had like a minute 51 gap at the end.
Yeah,
Massive.
it was pretty clean. It's a nice part.
Well, congrats on the win, man. That was great.
All right, cheers. Thank you very much.
Wow.
Rubik's Mason doesn't seem super hyped on his win.
Just normal business.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, 2 minutes for everyone.
He said, what did he say?
Easy.
Well, I was just faster than everyone. Yeah, that's how you win a race.
That's like Kimi, just like Kimi.
Yep.
Yeah, first, yeah.
He was always in the Discord like, shut up, I know what I'm doing.
I was just faster than everyone. That's how I won the race.
Yeah, you need to be first, and then you have to win the race.
Ollie's
He wins
supposed
the Indy 500. Yeah, was just faster. So easy.
He forgot to say boah.
Oh. I love the
Boah.
having a chat. The race, he's a chatty Cathy him.
We need Deco.
I'm gonna ping him right now because he's not doing his. Tell me, you tell me who you want to interview, and when they're done, you come out and I'll drag the next one up. But I think he missed the part where I have to ping him to remind him to. Always getting a pay cut.
Maybe they are discussing who won the race.
Yeah, could be, could be. We got one here.
Hello, Dustin.
Echo, hello.
Hello.
That was kind of a contentious win for you there.
Yeah.
That was wild.
It was super close at the end with the penalty.
Yeah, for I don't even know how many. I don't know if you were looking at the gaps, but for many laps, Jared was within the 10 seconds and then outside of it.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't really trust the timing because I was just relying on crew chief. Crew chief kept telling me it was like 15 and 13, but I never got told it was 10. So I was just trying to put as many fast and clean laps as I could and just hope that I managed to get over 10 seconds.
Yeah, you managed to outrun it. What caused the penalty anyway? Because we've had discussions. We've seen the 10-second penalties before, and we that you need a drive-through at some point. 10-second penalty. So what gave it to you?
I didn't even realize I had that until like the last 20 minutes when I went through my HUD and I had that penalty just pop up and I didn't even realize. But it said it was a pit lane speeding, but I don't know how because I managed to slow it down and press my pit limiter, and I released it after the combs. So I don't know, but this is Project Cars, so.
It really is. Were you involved in that crash with the two GT?
Yeah, I was right up behind. Is it Domi? I think in the Porsche.
Yep.
And I had the LMP coming up to me as well. So I was trying to lap Domi, and the LMP was going to try and lap me. I could see him probably going to dive down the inside then, so that's why I went wide. And I was on the outside of Domi, and the LMP hit Domi, and that hit me. So I got like 10 damage from that down on the straight. After that, when that happened.
Yeah, we assumed the game was being mean to you and gave you a 10-second penalty for getting punted off the track. Because sometimes,
Yeah, no.
sometimes that happens.
Yeah, but overall, I'm happy with the end result. But I will definitely be having a look at that and possibly reporting it because that was a bit ambitious.
All right, well, we're gonna keep moving on, but congrats on the win. That was a great race.
Thank you. And also, that was great racing with Bill as well at the start, and I was really disappointed when he went into the wrong pit box.
Yeah, that was really good racing. I thought we'd see more of it when you came out 1-2 still, but yeah, we caught that on camera, so we'll have to embarrass Bill
good.
about that.
Thanks, Dustin.
Yeah, see ya, Echo, thanks.
See ya.
Ping Polly ahead of time just to make sure. Oh, Sierrad's here. Hello, Sierrad.
Hi, here I am again.
Yeah, another podium. Bit of a contentious position at the end of there. How'd that go for you?
It was half an hour of qualifying on bad tires in the rain, so I'm completely ruined now. I'm so tired. I was watching the deltas all the time, and crew chief kept telling, "You're fastest, come on, you're fastest." It was so close in the end. What was it, half a second or so?
Yeah, it was like 0.5 at the end, and on our screen on the live gaps, it looked like you had it, so we didn't even know what the position was going to be at the end.
Yeah, at some point I thought I had it as well. At some point my timing said I was 9 seconds behind or so, but
Well, I don't. You probably didn't have live gaps up on your screen while you're driving. We were watching for a number of laps. That sort of your battle was about the only thing going on. So we were watching you for probably 5-6 laps straight at the end, and you were constantly going back to 8 seconds to 13 seconds, maybe on the straight, and it was anybody's call at the end.
yeah, I think in the end what missed it for me was the incident I had with, I think it was Mason. Basically 2 LMPs ran wide at turn 1. A GT3 backmarker ran wide on turn 1, and I ran wide as well. And then we stuck together. This Project Cars bug where you're super glued together, and we just nearly missed the barriers as well. So at that point, I thought my race was already over. But luckily, we somehow managed to dislodge ourselves, and I think I lost about 5 seconds, 6 seconds in that lap.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes the cars just get stuck together, spinning off or pushing each other off, and do you have to do any setup compromises out there today in preparation? How was your prep for these conditions?
Well, to be honest, I did quite a lot of practice before in the dry, but the last couple of days I didn't really look at it, and I thought I was fine. Then this morning, I was just lying on the couch, was a bit hungover, and I was checking the weather, and I saw it's gonna rain, and I was like, "Fuck!" I didn't think of that. I didn't have any rain setup, so then I had to quickly make a rain setup. And when I saw it was dry and was going to wet later on, I thought, "Fuck it, let's just start with the rain setup with hards." But then I forgot to open the radiators for dry. So after like 5 laps, Fuji started to say, hey, "Your engine is overheating, you're getting damage." And I was quite worried, but luckily the rain came very early, or at least some rain, so it cooled down. But I managed to pick up quite some damage on the engine by doing this.
Another hard fought podium for you. Wasn't quite the same out of nowhere, underdog come from behind thing, but it was a very very distant sort of out front running for you.
Yeah, again, this was one of these races where I made almost no mistakes, no spins, just went off in a battle just once, but it didn't really cost me any time, and was a good race. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, it was much and a good performance on your part. Congrats on the podium.
Oh, thank you.
See it. Has Bill left? Oh, Bill's here. Hello.
No, I'm here. Hello, guys.
Bill, what happened, man?
A lot.
A lot happened. Yeah, we saw a lot happen, man.
So, do you want the professional race driver version, or do you want my version?
I want the Kimi Raikkonen version.
All right, professional race driver version. It was all the car's fault.
Yeah. And
yeah, no, it was weird.
Version?
The first part of the race was cool. Was really cool. I had some great battling with Echo. Then when it started raining, the balance shifted just the slightest bit, and it made me quicker than Echo for some reason. And I was catching back up to him. And then I went into the pits, and I stopped at the wrong pit box.
Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah, we got that.
I figured it out after like 5 seconds or so. Went to the right pit box and had lost a lot of time due to that, of course. And then I went out, and the car was just absolutely undrivable. When I was driving it in qualifying, I basically used my drive setup and did like 2 small tweaks. And that worked really well. I could drive it without traction control or anything. And I was really, really confident in what the car was doing. But then I took my race setup and I did the same changes, but like half as much to be somewhere in between those setups. And instead of understeering like it did before, I had just oversteer everywhere.
Sorry, I just got company over here, but yeah, that seemed like quite a journey on your part. Your car seems squirrely as hell a lot of the time.
Yeah, the second part I was just suffering. I've never been as lost in a race car as in that second half of that race.
It seemed pretty squirrely in the dry at times too. It looked like the back end was stepping out a little.
Yeah, but I felt that on this track I needed that because else it was just understeer fest. But in the dry it was controllable, you know. When the rear started stepping out, I was able to modulate and catch it back. But in the rain, I don't know what happened.
Even
It's
your
just weird.
traction control.
Yeah, I mean, in qualifying, traction control was not necessary, so I figured, well, I'm going to switch to the race. Not going to be as much on the limit as in qualifying. Shouldn't be an issue. Well, it was.
We were surprised. It was kind of iffy for it wasn't the usual Bill Kerman performance that we're used to, and but you managed to nail the podium still despite all the.
Yeah, I'm happy about that. But really, I really don't know what happened. I'm happy that I had the first part of the race battling with Echo, because overall I can still, well, I still enjoyed it, but the second part was just terrible.
I'm gonna have to cut this. Bill, congrats on the podium. That was a.
Thanks. See you guys.
See you, everybody. PC.link if you want to join us for the next one. Dustin the Destroyer joined by. That's it. That's all. We'll see you next week. Same time, same. Bye.